Hi again. It's time for part three of volunteer management. Part one, we talked about how to set up the template, which is the first thing you need to do. Part two, we talked about basically assigning the template to the meet and also went over some of the basic features of the form. Now we're going to talk about some of the other management features of the volunteer form. So I'm already logged in as an administrator. I'm already on the swim meet page, and I'm going to click on the volunteer icon for this meet. And the first thing you'll note, of course, is that we've got lots of volunteers already signed up. And I want to point your attention to a few of these things here. So first of all, you can lock this form. And what locking does is it prevents parents from making any changes. So for instance, the day of the meet in the morning, you may want to lock the form down and make anybody who wants to have a change actually contact you versus changing it. So um, that's what that feature does. Now, when it's locked, you can still change it in as an administrator, but parents can't. The next thing you can do is you can email everybody on this list. So you can click the email button, and what it does is opens up your little email window, and you can give it a title, volunteers for this meeting. Volunteers take note. You can write whatever you want as a reminder when to be there, and then send an email and hit save, and it'll send an email out. I'm not going to do that right now. You can export this information to an Excel file. Okay, I'm not going to bother to actually save it, but pretty simple to export it if you want the data. But one of the key features that people ask about, and it's not very apparent, is can I print it? And depending on what browser you're in, I'm in Internet Explorer, you can right click and hit print. I'll hit print preview. And you can see that the form looks pretty good here. You can see exactly as it looks on the page, you can see the volunteer assignments for each session. And we often will print it out and make copies and bring it to the meet so that we know who is supposed to be where and when. Okay, so that's the form. That's some of the management features of the form. Let's go to the site console and look at one more thing. There is a volunteer report. And so we'll go to the console tab, scroll down a little bit and hit the volunteer link. And you'll see at the very top, there's a report. It's just one report, but it's got a variety of filters to help you understand how you want to view your data. So here you can see these are all the volunteers for all the events, and that's a lot of data. It may not be the way you want to look at it. There's a lot of different ways to look at it. You could say to yourself, well, let's see for a specific event who has signed up. So we can pick an event, hit refresh, and now you've got all the volunteers for this away meet, their positions, sessions, etc. The other thing you can do is you might want to know, okay, is the Allen family signing up for enough slots over the course of the season? So you can just put in a last name, hit refresh, and you can see that Cheryl Allen has been a pretty active person working the ribbons in a variety of meets and a variety of sessions. Okay. You might also want to go, well, who are my typical stroke and turn judges? Let's pull back all the stroke and turn judges and see who's been performing that activity. And you can see a variety of names here of people that have performed that function. You can also search by template. So a variety of ways to look at reports, to look at volunteers over the course of your season. So you can figure out exactly who's doing what, where, and when.